Hello friends, today we will see types of variables. We have three types: local, static and instance. We'll see the first one. What is local? Local variables are declared inside methods and constructors only, not anywhere else. Compulsory, we should give a value for local variable. Local variables are not allotted any memory space by JVM. It is taken during the execution and it will get executed. That's all. Local variable are accessible within the method or constructor within which it is declared, not anywhere else. That is the fourth point given here. It can be used, we'll put the right term here, accessed. It can be accessed only within the method or constructor where it is declared. It can be accessed only within the method or constructor where it is declared. Very important point for local variable. Local variable are also declared in parameter of a method or a constructor. What is parameter of a method or constructor? When we declare a method, we will within the bracket. When we declare a method within the bracket, if you give any variable name or if you declare any variables within the bracket of a method or a constructor is called as parameter. I will repeat once again slowly. If you declare any variables within the brackets of the method or a constructor is called as parameter. We'll see in detail in the following example program. This is the example program for local variable. See, this is the constructor. A constructor of a class should be same as the class name. So, constructor name is same as the class name sample, and within the constructor, within the brackets of a constructor, I have declared two variables, int I and float j. These two are within the parameter of this constructor, which is also a local variable. Just now we saw, right, the declared in parameter of method or constructor, also called as local variable. So these two variables are declared in parameter of a constructor. Parameter means within the brackets of the constructor, whatever variable we declared, it is considered as parameter, and within the parameter I have declared two variables, so this is also a local variable. and some variable which we declare inside a constructor or a method is also called as a local variable. If it is in the parameter or if it is inside declared inside a constructor or if it is in the parameter of a method or if it is in the inside of a method, if it is in the inside a method or if it is in the parameter of a method or if it is in the inside a constructor or if it is in the parameter of the constructor or if it is in the parameter of the constructor, all these are considered as local variable only inside a method or parameter, inside a constructor or inside a parameter of a constructor. These are considered as local variables. And one more thing, if the variables are present in the parameter, you no need to give any value during the declaration of this variable. If it is in the parameter alone, if it is in the parameter of a method, no need to give any value in the declaration. If it is in the parameter of the constructor, you no need to give any value while declaration. But if it is inside a constructor or if it is inside a method or if the local variable is inside a method or inside a constructor, means compulsory you should give a value. Compulsory you have to give a value like this, equal to 10, equal to 5, like that. Compulsory you should give a value. Value can be anything, but compulsory you should give a value or else it will throw an error. And one more thing what we saw, the local variable is accessible within which it is declared. If local variables is inside the constructor, what are all the local variables inside this constructor? Two local variable in parameter int I and into float j, and one local variable is inside the constructor int a equal to 5. So three variables inside this constructor, three local variables inside this constructor. These three local variables you can use it inside this constructor only. You cannot use these variables anywhere else. You cannot call these variables anywhere outside this constructor. Keep it in mind. These three local variables inside this constructor can be called within this constructor only. The same way, within this method we have, in parameter we have string of arrays. It is accessible to this method only. The same way, int b equal to 10. You can access this int b, variable b, only within this method only. You cannot access this int b outside, anywhere outside the program you cannot access. sorry, anywhere outside this method you cannot access. If you want to call this b variable within this constructor, it is not possible. If you want to call this a within this method, if you want to call this variable a within this method, it's not possible. It is accessible only within this constructor. A is accessible, int a is accessible only within this constructor, and this variable b is accessible only within this method, not anywhere outside the particular method or variable. If it is in the method, only within this method it is accessible. If it is inside the constructor, only within the constructor it is accessible. We'll see an example program. I have written, I am typing again from the beginning. Please see. First, we have to create a class, space, name of the class. I am keeping local variable, whatever name you can keep, but class name should start with capital letter, open braces, close braces. Control is coming inside the class. Now I am creating one constructor for this class. Constructor name should be same as the class name within the brackets. Within the brackets of the constructor, this is within the brackets of the constructor. Whatever variable name I declare, whatever variable I declared is considered as what? Local variable. So within the brackets of the constructor, I have declared one variable. It is called as local variable. It is accessible only within this constructor, not anywhere else. The same way inside a constructor, I am declaring one more variable int b. If it is not in the parameter, compulsory we should give a value. I told you. Now I am creating the main method. Public static void main. Compulsory in a program you should have this main method for every program, because the control will come and search for the main method for execution. Compulsory this method, public static void main, string of args, parameter string of args. Compulsory this method should be there in every program. So here the string of args is one of the parameter, so it is considered as local variable. String of arrays, so it is a parameter for this method, main method, so it is considered as local variables. 1 minute. So this is the main method. Before that, we have declared one constructor. Within the constructor, we have given parameter int a, that is a local variable, and inside the constructor we have given one local variable int b equal to 8. So inside it is we have to give value compulsory. So a variable inside a constructor or inside a method is called as local variable, and if it is in the parameter of the constructor or if it is in the parameter of the method is also considered as local variable. But if it is in the parameter, you no need to give a value. But if it is inside the constructor or method, compulsory you have to give a value. I am giving one variable int c equal to 6 something, some value you can give. So this is present inside method, so it is a local variable. Now how to access these variables, we can see. I told you if it is a local variable, you can access only within the constructor if it is inside the constructor, or only within the method if it is inside a method. We saw here, right? Fourth point, it can be accessible only within the method or constructor where it is declared. So which means this value b is accessible only within the constructor. You cannot call this b inside this method. Same way, this c is accessible only within the method. You can't call this c inside this constructor. That is what it means to say, the fourth point. Now I am calling how to call these variables. We'll see. Since it is within the constructor, you have to call it within the constructor only. I am putting one print statement. System dot out dot print ln dot b. Copy the print statement. Copy the print statement. Paste it. I am calling this local variable a. These two are accessible, a and b are accessible within the constructor only. Similar way, put the print statement here. The c is accessible only within this method. Put c here. So as we saw in the previous video, control comes inside, searches for the main method. This is the main method, and comes inside and it will execute the codes. So in order to see the output for this lines of code, we have to call this constructor inside the main method. We have to call this complete constructor. How to call this constructor? We want to create an object for a class to call the constructor. How to create an object for the class? Class name. Local variable is your class name. Space. Obj. Obj is nothing but a reference variable. Whatever name you can keep. You can keep ob reference Whatever name you can keep. That is just a reference name. Name of your object. Class name space. You have to give a name for the object. Whatever name you can keep. I am keeping ref equal to new. New is one of the keyword in Java. It creates new memory space in JVM heap memory. So inside that memory you have the properties of the class, the instance properties of the class. No need to confuse much. It will create a new memory space for your class and keep the object properties of the class inside the memory. So this is the use of new keyword. Compulsory you have to give new keyword space, new space. Now call the constructor. This is your constructor. I am copying the constructor name. Just copy the constructor, paste new space, your constructor, semicolon. See, int a is parameter of the constructor. So here only you have to give the value for int a. Okay, this is considered as argument. The place where you call the constructor is called as argument. The place where you declare the constructor, this is here where you declare the constructor, this place is called as parameter. The place where you call this constructor is considered as argument. For int a, I have to give some value for a, no? Here only you have to give whatever value you can give. Since it is int means integer. I am giving one integer 4. 4, 40 or 5, 6, whatever you can give. So this 6 will pass to your constructor parameter int a. This 6 will be passed to this a, and this constructor will be called. When control C this line, it will going to call this constructor. Where is this constructor? Here it is. This constructor will be called and all the codes inside will be executed. So the argument 6 we passed right there, it will be given to this a. This a is also a local variable. 6 will be passed to this a. 6 is the argument will be passed to parameter int a. Parameter int a. Okay. Now it will go inside this constructor and execute these two lines. It will print a and it will print b. Save this program. How to save? Already we saw in the previous class. Save it with the class name, local variable, L caps, exact class name. What is the exact class name? Local variable. This is what we kept for a class name. Save it with the same class name I'm saving it in desktop. Save. Open your command prompt. Change the directory to your desktop location. CD space. Copy the file location. Go to properties and copy the location. In this location only your Java file is there. What is your Java file name? Local variable .java. It is in desktop. Go to the location. What is the command for compilation? Java C space local variable dot Java. Compile successfully, no error. Command to execute. Command to run the program. Java space file name. What is your file name? File name is your class name only, no? Local variable. Java space local variable file name. Some error has thrown class not found exception. Why? 1 minute please. Found the reason for the error. So here we have left a spelling mistake. We saved it as local variable, but see here class name is local variable. We left letter A, variable. This is the error. Okay, change it correctly. Constructor name same as class name. Calling this constructor variable. Yeah, correct. Variable. Because in this name only we have saved this file. So we have to save the file exactly as class name. If it mismatches, it will throw some error. Save it. Now compile. Java C space local variable is your class name dot Java. It's a local variable is your class name and file name. Some error is there again. Line number 17 error cannot find symbol. See here, one more mistake. Variable. Spelling mistake. We have changed, we have corrected here and all, but forget to correct here. Local variable. I have added here. Save it again. Compile it again. Java C space local variable dot Java. Compiled successfully. Command to run Java space local variable. Yeah. Spellings and all you should see carefully. Sorry. Java space local variable. Local variable is your file name. That's all. Enter. See, you got the output. This six we have passed it for. First control is coming inside. It is printing the C value. C value is printed here 6, and then it is calling this constructor. So for a value we have given 6. So it is going, command is going to the constructor. It is giving the 6 value to this a. So a value is 6. B value is 8. So it is printing 8 first, and then it is printing a value 6. First it printed C value 6 and B value 8 and A value 6. A value 6. So this is how we can access the local variables. Local variables are accessible within the constructor or method within which it is declared. You cannot access local variable outside anywhere. Only it is accessible within which it has declared. That's all about local variable. We can see static variable in the next video. Thank you.